Toxic situationship horror story. I was 17 at the time and hadn't really experienced love or had any strong feelings for anyone ATP. A girl that I had known for a while, we'll call her Tracy, had been flirting with me for months, but I never really thought of her in that way, so I kinda brushed her off. But she was nice and seemed really into me, so I decided to give her a chance. We clicked instantly. I didn't have much experience hanging out with or talking to girls at this point in my life, but with her it was so easy. I instantly fell for her and we'd only hung out for a week or so. Then one day it was like something snapped, and she started acting very cold and distant, as if she had her fun and was now done with me, which I would later find out were obvious commitment issues. Remember, this girl had been on me for months, so you can see how this came as a shock. I had barely experienced the talking stage and I already missed her like crazy. I knew I was in for a hurting. About a week later, my friends asked me if Tracy and I were still a thing because they had heard that she already moved on to someone else that we knew. Unfortunately she had, but I had no idea because she had still been talking to me as if I still had a chance. So I sat there like a dunce and assured everyone that we were still talking. Later that night, one of my best friends sent me screenshots of Tracy talking to her new man. She had even shit-talked me to this guy, saying how irritated she was that she had to see me tomorrow because our families had plans. I was so hurt and confused because I had done nothing wrong to her, almost like I was an annoyance for giving her the attention she sought. This went on for months, with her flirting and hooking up with multiple men, my friends included, and me chasing her because it was the only true connection I'd ever had with a girl. She kept me around for the constant attention and knew I'd do almost anything she asked. One night, we were both at separate house parties and she was drunk and asked me to come pick her up. Obviously I did, even though I was drinking and should not have been behind the wheel. I took a long drive to her location and back to my house. She was love-bombing me the whole ride and I was eating it up like the sucker I was. LOL. We get to my house and go up to my room and start getting intimate. She then stops us and says that her friend was upset about her leaving the party and was coming to get her to take her back. She gets up to gather her things and I look at her, upset because this all seemed like a broken record. She sees my face, stops, looks me in my eyes and says, "What? Do you know something that I don't?" This caught me off guard, but I replied no because I didn't think much of it. I go to walk her downstairs and she says my friend's really pissed, so I'm just gonna meet her in the driveway. "You don't have to come out, I don't want her yelling at you." It was at this point that I stopped and thought that something had to be up. I looked on with suspicion as she walked out, and halfway up my very long driveway, she gets in the car and they turn around in my yard. This was extremely odd, but I was too caught up in the fact that she had left me hanging again and if I would ever be happy. The next morning, she texts me and says that she messed up. My heart sank and my stomach dropped to the floor. It wasn't her friend that picked her up, it was my teammate. He picked her up and they immediately pulled over in a neighborhood close by and hooked up in his car. I had never felt that kind of mental pain in my life and I still have until this day. I dropped to the floor, not knowing what to do with myself. I suffer from anxiety, so everything was amplified to 100. I grabbed my keys, ran out of my house and went for a drive. I believe this was my first panic attack. I didn't make it far and my dad was waiting for me when I got back. Both him and my mom could tell something was up. They tried to cheer me up and take my mind off of it, but I spent the rest of the day sulking and depressed. The worst part is, I had practiced the next day with the very kid she was with the night before. Unable to cope with this, I missed school and practice the next day as the ordeal had left me mentally and physically ill. I'd like to be able to say that it stopped here and I learned a hard lesson, but unfortunately this went on for many more years and I have countless other horror stories. I never knew that you could feel that mentally sick and beaten down. Like I was sinking in a never-ending pit. Every week was a roller coaster and a struggle to stay above water. She stayed in contact with me and I couldn't let go even through college. I liked the attention and I longed for her approval. It got so bad that I had turned into a cold and heartless person myself just to make it feel like I was getting back at her. I was a complete stranger compared to who I was before her. I'm now in a new relationship and it really opened my eyes to what real love and appreciation is. I don't have to break my back for her attention and she goes out of her way to make me happy. She is truly a blessing and makes every day brighter, and I still have no idea how I got so lucky after making so many wrong choices. When you're young you think every little thing is the end of the world, but I promise it's not. It will get better. Just stay true to yourself and someone will love you for who you are.